Every single trader wants to be a trading millionaire. Every single trader that I've had on my podcast, Titans of Tomorrow, that is actually a millionaire, whether it's making $1 million from prop firms or whether that's making $1 million from personal capital. When it comes to making significant amounts of money from the markets, it's definitely achievable. And I've been in a fortunate position to achieve that myself by making millions of dollars from the market. And the common denominators that I found between all of my guests and my own experience, there's a whole process within there. But if you want to make just $10,000 from the markets, well, there's a different strategy for that. Because if you want to be a full-time, consistently profitable trader, have a whole career that lasts decades and take thousands of trades in a professional manner, well, you need a specific professional approach where you really need to have a fine-tuned strategy and a lot of things. And the reality is, any trader that has made millions of dollars from the markets, it took them at least 5 years, but usually more around the 10-year mark. And that's not going to be the topic of this video, because I want to address how to make your first $10,000 as a new trader in the markets, and utilizing strategies that worked in my own experience, between the dozens of successful traders that I've had on my podcast, and also the hundreds of students through my own programs. In this video, I'm going to give you the 4 key lessons on how to make your first $10,000 as a beginner trader. And with that being said, I'm going to give you some mindset approaches. I'm going to give you some specific technical approaches when it comes to exact strategies. I'm going to give you an approach on how to maximize and leverage prop firms, and I'm going to explain to you the powers of one specific setup. So let's get right into it. So starting off with the power of other people's money, specifically the power of prop firms. Now, I'm not going to explain the obvious. You already know how powerful it is to utilize prop firms, but what I want to clarify to you is your intention on why prop firms are so powerful. Think of it like this. If I have $2,000 and I put that into a brokerage account and I trade that accordingly, I work really hard, I get some good trades, I risk a little bit aggressively, and I get a phenomenal gain of 20% in a single month. Well, on a $2,000 account, that's just $400 in profit. Well, you're better off still working a minimum wage job, because that would have paid you more. So the biggest problem traders face is a lack of capital. And because traders face a lack of capital, it forces them to really chase highs. And even when they get close to achieving that, they make insignificant money. It's going to force you to trade with more greed. You're going to have more fear of missing out on certain trades. All of these things are going to lead to emotion-based trading. And as you know, the more emotions you have in the market, the more likely you are to take bad trades, and therefore more likely to actually blow your account. So how can we solve all of this? It's leveraging prop firms. Because if you had that same exact trading performance, but instead of depositing $2,000 into an account, you utilize that same capital to leverage prop firms. Maybe you bought 4 100K challenges. Maybe you even blew 3 of them and you only got funded on the last one, but eventually you got 100K in capital. And let's say if you made only 3% gain, 4% gain in a single month, and you made significantly more than somebody that deposited thousands of dollars into a trading account. Meaning to say, trading is a game of capital, because the more capital you have, the less you require to chase highs. And because right now you're a new trader, you're not trying to build a single account and a single equity curve. Because let's say you're someone like me who has been trading for almost a decade. You've seen my public performance live ahead of time, over 70 trades given ahead of time, over 60% gain in profits. But the problem here is, if you are not a professional trader, the likelihood is you'll go from your initial deposits and very easily can fall into 20% drawdown, 50% drawdown. Drawdown kills traders. The power of prop firms is, if you go 5 or 10% into drawdown, you can just buy another account for relatively inexpensive. And that's the beauty for a newcomer trader in this day and age. You don't have to even be the best trader. You can be a trader that just is very conservative, very careful with their risk, and just try and get 2 or 3 or 5% gains once, and you will lock in a $10,000 payout. So step number 1 is understanding the power of capital, understanding how to leverage prop firms. And later on in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how you can maximize your first $10,000. Now, point number 2 is understanding the power of one setup. A lot of beginner traders, what do? We are sponges in the market. We want to learn everything. We watch all the YouTube videos, all the podcasts. We buy as many courses as we can. And we think that success in the market comes from as much knowledge as possible. And what does that lead to? That leads to traders that know too much but make no money. And the reason for that is they have no restrictions, they have no clarity, and they don't understand the power of one setup. As a professional trader that is thinking to do this as a full career, yes, you should have a good strategy, and then you should have data surrounding your strategy to build out specific trade models. That's what a professional trader does. But if you are someone that's just looking to make your first $10,000 from the market, you don't need to do any of that. What you need is power of one setup, one specific strategy with a specific mechanical objective checklist, where you know that I'm going to wait for exactly these 5 things, and if I don't see these 5 things, I cannot take the trade, it means you're going to miss a lot of trades. Think of yourself like a sniper where you only have one bullet in your chamber and you have to make that shot count. The difference between a profitable and non-profitable trader is not winning trades, it's the losses they avoid. So if you understand that the profits you are looking for, your first $10,000 in the market, lies in waiting, lies in restrictions, and being prepared for one specific setup. Think of it like this for now. You have a specific checklist, you've tested it, you have the data for it so that you know exactly what it looks like, and when you see it appear in the market, you enter with a plan, and you need to be in a state of this is just another day in the office. And the power of one setup is going to help you stop taking a bunch of losses, and more importantly, you have control, because you know on average the power of my one setup appears once a week, so I'll only take one trade a week. I know the power of my setup has a 50% win rate, so if I take a couple of losses, that's okay, because it's factored in as part of the plan, so that you can really maximize the power of one setup, the revolving door strategy, the golden bullet strategy, the specific case studies that I've shown on exactly these things. This channel is to help you make your first $10,000, and don't let it be a limiting belief. Trust me, you can. And right now, if you're sitting there having blown accounts, being a bit confused in the market, it's not because you're not intelligent. It's not because you were not born to be a trader. It's nothing like that. It's simply you had the wrong approach. You had the wrong tactics in the market, the wrong protocol, the wrong roadmap, and can you be surprised if you end up in the wrong destination if you didn't have the correct map in front of you? So think of this as a new chapter in your trading journey where you understand the power of leveraging prop firms correctly. You understand the power of one setup, which later on I'm going to help you build. And number 3, which brings me on to my next point, which is understand how to hack dopamine. Now, that probably sounds a bit funny, but you have to understand the mechanics of a trader's mind, because after being in the industry for so long, seeing successful traders, seeing struggling traders, what I've understood is a trader who's truly passionate, who truly sees a vision, will always go back to their job, will always save up, they'll take their time, but they won't give up. The reason people give up in trading is because they ran out of hope. And why do traders give up hope in the market? It's because they blow too many accounts. It's because they fall for scams. It's because they follow the wrong mentors. And every time you fail another account, it's another nail in the coffin. It's another reason for you to give up. And what you have to understand is these regular things that happens to everyone. It even happened to me. But the reason I didn't give up is because I understood how the mind works. Specifically, how our human psychology works when it comes to motivation, consistency, habit building, and achieving a goal. Now, let me guess, you have big dreams. You see all the people online on social media making millions of dollars, living the life that you want to live. So you come in with zero experience and huge goals. And then after 1 month, you either fall for too many scams or you just feel like it's impossible. It's too far away. The industry is a scam and you just don't know what to do. Let's rewire that whole process. We have evolved to see that dopamine is our hormone for motivation. Dopamine is released in our bodies upon achievement. If we procreate, we get dopamine. That's why it's so pleasurable to do so. Let's say you hit a PR in the gym. You get all these endorphins, you get all this dopamine, and you want to stay consistent in the gym. When somebody goes to the gym in the beginning, they can't be bothered. They feel a bit sore, but the moment you have the habit, and then you release a bit of dopamine, and that dopamine keeps you coming back, builds the habit, builds consistency, and then overall 6 months later, your body has transformed. That's how the mind works. And the problem traders have is they put their dopamine release on things that are out of their control and way too far away. For example, if you're only going to be happy and only see yourself as achieving something within the markets is if you make $1 million from the market, that could take you a decade. And therefore, if you have no dopamine, no positive feedback for a decade, trust me, you will give up. You need to have consistency. You need to have routine, because every trader that I've spoke to that's made significant profit in the market, the key factor was time. It was not because they were particularly intelligent. It was not because they had the best mentor. They did a lot of things. They worked hard, they were consistent, they sacrificed. But the main thing was they just did it for longer than you. You have to build habits and systems based on dopamine. And what that looks like is rewarding yourself on dopamine on short-term horizons. And for example, trying to make $1 million, that's rather out of your control. So instead of having your dopamine released on something that is so far away and kind of out of your control, why not have it on a weekly basis on things in your control? What that looks like is make yourself a to-do list of things that are non-negotiable that you have to do. Promising yourself that you'll journal each one of your losing trades. Promising yourself you'll backtest every single day. Promising yourself that you'll keep you and your friends accountable. Promising yourself that you'll watch one good piece of content per day. All of these things will help you achieve your goal, and you reward yourself with dopamine in a controlled way consistently. You will make $10,000 from the market. It's not that hard. And the last point is having confluences that are causation, not correlations, that will help you achieve profitability. There are certain things in the market that if you apply them, no matter what strategy you have, if you add these 3 things, it will improve your win rate, it will improve your risk to reward, and you'll be trading from a place of precision because you are trading the primary drivers. You're not trading correlations. For example, price reacting off an EMA. The market does not reverse because of an EMA. That's not causation. That's not the reason the market changes. If you cut all the noise and you just focus on a 1-hour window during London Open, you're going to stop yourself taking so many losses that don't need to be there. And the wins you do take in that window, those were the optimal trades to take. Yes, you miss more trades, but a restricted trader is a profitable trader. Being restricted is something good for you. Second of all, if you can now add in a manipulation, if you can trade when the market makers are active, when you have momentum, volatility, liquidity, these are the reasons the market's going to move. Bigger the liquidity pool you trade, the better reaction you will have. So time of day, liquidity based on higher time frame inducements. If you sweep 1 hour and above market structure, you have found good liquidity. And then you need to confirm it. Is it actually a break of structure or is it actually a run of liquidity and an inducement? How do you confirm that? You need to see that rejection and give you the confirmations that you should sell. And the reasons you need lower time frame confirmation, you need better precision and you need more confirmation. If you use lower time frame confirmation, you can enter on a specific confirmed zone. You reduce your stop loss size, therefore increasing your risk to reward. And you have another confirmation, therefore you'll increase your win rate. That trio, time of day, London Open, wait for a meaningful inducement on the 1 hour time frame and above, and wait for the confirmation of that rejection based on lower time frame confirmations. Add this trio to any strategy and it will be a lot better. Now, when it comes to building a specific step-by-step mechanical strategy, there is another video that I want you to watch where I give exactly step-by-step how to build that setup with case study examples on how exactly I do it on the charts, and then showing you based on my track record of my public signals exactly the trades that I used to find the profitability that I have this year, and I'm going to give it to you. So make sure you go and check that video. That's in depth, breaking it down step by step. And if you want to see a little bit more advanced stuff, see the link below where you can actually come trade live with me and my team, where we are trading every single London and New York session every single day, live streaming. Nothing more powerful than that, nothing more transparent than that. And I need you to remember, as always, a restricted trader is a profitable trader.